Hopefully we're going to come online again. Okay, now it says I'm started again. Let's see if I'm actually here. This is crazy. I see what's his name had the same problem last night. He went off. He went off twice and had to change his. Come on, get up there. I'm going to put my hand on the screen. For some reason, my delay is staying on, and it shouldn't be. What in the hell is happening, guys? Okay, there's that. But on YouTube, it's not streaming. It's streaming live on my dashboard, but it's not streaming on YouTube. Well, the curtain's not moving, so obviously it's not live. It's live on my dashboard. Can you hear me now? If you can hear me, and if I sit in front of this, my dashboard, that is weird. It's very weird. I can't understand it. I've never had this problem before. Gone live several times. Yeah, my other channel too. I'm going to come in here and tell me if you can see me. Now I don't even see me. Okay, I got an 8-second delay. I've got an 8-second delay, so let's see what happens. There should be no delay. I have it set. There I am. Tell me if you can see my hand. If you can see my hand, I'm just going to open some rolls, see what goes on. Okay, you can see me. I don't know why. I don't know why it's not showing up live on YouTube. The channel's showing up live, but wow, this is nuts. I do this pretty quick, especially if I have the right glasses on. Let's see what happens here. There's a 48 Philadelphia. Whoop, 48 Philadelphia. Yeah, I do basically look for certain dates for errors. I don't go crazy on all the years. If there's something interesting, I'll set it aside. I did this forever and ever in the 50s and 60s, 54, forever and ever in the 60s and 70s. Don't mind the dog behind me. Somebody just came to the house and he's going crazy. But I go back to 1960 and that's it. Or that's the latest date. Just make rolls of them. I'm not collecting for me anymore like I did back in the old day. This is going to be basically for the kids and grandkids. Uh, Other than that, we're trying to start a. I'm in a pretty small town. We're trying to start a coin club here. I should say I am. Used to belong to one way back when, and spent a lot of time collecting. I think when look at that, I never do that. Trying to rush, and I don't know why. Way back in the day, we got on here. I can't see the. I got to get a new setup so I can have my monitor directly in front of me. Right now it's on. There's two desks together here, and I can't see it quite that well. But basically, this is. I put this in this video in one of the groups in my hometown, so we can start a coin club. You know, have monthly auctions and such. There are a lot of people that are interested in, especially in gold. I don't know why gold. I don't do too much in gold. I got one. I just got a 1 ounce gold bar off of eBay recently, and that's about all the gold I've done since I started. I just started doing this again about 4.5 months ago. The infamous 2005, looking for the detached leg. It's a pretty dry roll so far. Not a whole lot going on. Whoop, there we go. There's a war nickel. 44 Philadelphia. I don't know how this. Well, I can't even tell where I'm at because I've got such a delay. Anyhow, I got a 44 Philadelphia war nickel. It's not bad. It's only the third roll. Maybe there'll be some more in here, huh? I got two earlier today out of $40. No, one. I'm sorry, I got one out of $40 in nickels. Notice how I open these? I literally just rip the ends off both ends with my. I keep my thumbnails at about an eighth, a little more than an eighth of an inch. I've always had strong fingernails, so I can just rip right into them. The only thing I can't open is the dime rolls. They're impossible. They're wrapped so tightly that I think I'd break my thumb off before I would split the paper on them. There's something that's kind of old, 41 Denver. But I look for the 2008 and 14s. The double die above the door, or above the door there. They're really not. I don't know. I don't get it. There's so many errors listed for coins now. You know, I do like the 2004 Wisconsin, the extra leaf. That's a pretty neat error. But you know, all these other ones with just a little extra minting like above the door. That's really not an exciting error for me. I don't go crazy on stuff like that, but you know, if I don't see that many. I'll leave that out and take a look at it later. I don't see that many being offered on eBay, and when they are, they're asking such a high price, and I don't see anybody bidding on them. But it's still enjoyable, you know, to go through them. You do get frustrated at times. I went through, in the last couple of weeks, I went through $600 in halves and only got two 40%ers. And how many? I think I got 6 NIFCs, which, you know, okay, years down the road they're gonna be valuable. This, as I said, is for my kids and grandkids. I can't collect at 65 and expect to really do a great thing for myself. An investment for the future for them. If we have a future, the way things are in Spain today and every place else, who knows what's going to happen. I do go through these pretty quickly. I'm using the Logitech C920. Everybody says it's one of the best. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a Samsung 7 or 8, I do believe, and stick it on a stand where it can be set a little closer to the coins, where I can, you know, share what I'm finding here. 2004. A lot of them look like they are a little bit detached, but you know, I'd rather see a leg that's detached, like on the 37 Buffalo. Now that's or not detached, missing, for that matter. There's a dark nickel there. So I'm gonna. I don't even know. I can't even see who's on here right now. I know Coin Card Collecting Hobbyist is here. I can't. Let me see if I can reach over here and get the. I can't really see who else is here right now, but just gonna go through these. Hopefully, some of the people from my hometown will have a look at this either now or perhaps later. And those who are collecting or have collected in the past might be interested in starting a coin club, and I would consider opening a coin and supply store. It's a small town. You know, you've got to have people really interested, and people also that want to keep their money locally, because I mean, I do all of my shopping for supplies on basically on eBay. I get just about everything I need off of eBay for a lot cheaper than I could get it at a retail store. You know, I've been to I've seen the prices in other cities in this area, larger cities, and they can't compete with eBay. But as I said, if people, you know, really want to just stay supporting their own community, which is what it really is all about. But if they don't, you know, it's not feasible to open a store. I think it would be fun if I even just broke even for the hobby aspect of it. That would be fine. Wouldn't have to sit out there and see a big profit every month. I haven't found any Canadians in this box yet. That's really odd. We're only 75 miles as the crow flies from Canada, and generally there's quite a few Canadian nickels in every box. Not this one. You know, pennies. I've been bouncing back and forth between the pennies and nickels, mainly the nickels, but I'll grab some boxes of pennies, and it just doesn't produce much around here. Um, I think I've been averaging 14 to 15 wheats per box, and I got 16 out of a box the other day. That was real exciting. The earliest being I actually had two 1920s out of the same box. That's not a whole lot. You know, I really do think about the guy that got me into coin collecting, a family friend that knew my father. He started long before he got me involved in 1966, and it looks like it would be like a 1940, and it's 70 or an 89. He got going on it long before I started, and every week, as I said before, he'd go and get a $50 bag of pennies and a $100 bag of nickels, or a couple times a week after he too retired. And you know, back in '66, you were pulling, you know, as far as wheats, a third of the bag were wheats. And he, I guess, had some insight, figuring they're going to be worth something someday. And every wheat that we found, when I was helping him, until I started doing it myself and got my mother involved, but he pulled them all out, every single wheat. And of course, back then there were there were, buffaloes were pretty numerous, really, still in '66. Not, not a whole lot, but I remember getting as many as 40 buffaloes out of a $50 bag. 5,000 nickels, maybe even more than that. It's kind of hard to remember regarding numbers, but and the V nickels as well. Of course, weren't too awful many of them, but they were still in circulation. And I've only found since April. I started doing this in April, and I've only found four buffaloes, and that's out of I don't even I can give you a rough estimate. I'd say that's out of maybe 60,000 nickels, four buffalo, and we were averaging maybe two, perhaps two a bag. Or yeah, I say bag because we always got our nickels loose. They didn't roll them back then. The bank just brought in the change from the parking meters, as well as change from anybody or merchants too. But the parking meters, that money was set aside for Walt by a couple of tellers that basically helped him along with his collecting. And it's kind of like there's a 47, but it's so. I'll attempt to show you. It's so nasty. I'm not going to keep it. I'm looking at the screen because I've got that delay. That it's not even focusing. C920, great camera. Yeah, okay. I guess it's great for live streaming of your entire face or your body or whatever. But even though it's got a 20-step focus on it, it sure has a lot of trouble. It looks kind of strange. It sure has a lot of trouble going from distance to close up quick enough to. What the heck? There's something on that coin that wouldn't let me slide it. Doesn't go quick enough on the focus. Half dollar make you holler. I watch him all the time, and actually I watch just about everybody on YouTube. I've subscribed to everybody, all the collectors, Stack Attack, and coin and card collecting. Just about everybody. It's boy, this is really. I'm wondering if some of these coins have gotten to before they get to Loomis, but who knows? They're just rolled in a big bunch of coins all coming together. And from what I was told from somebody who worked for Loomis, they have no chance of really looking at the coins. They come in, they stand behind a plexiglass shield, and they stand behind that shield and just supervise, overwatch the machine from. Okay, that's twice in one box. I don't think I dropped 2 nickels in 10 boxes usually. Some of these rolls they seem to be rolled loosely for some reason. I got my visor neck. Look at this. Look at this. 1936. Look at that. Give it a little extra light. 1936 Buffalo. Talking about buffaloes, and I pull one out. I'm looking at the camera, guys. I'm sorry. I don't know why I've got this delay on for such a drastic delay, but I moved it up. Not a bad looking coin, huh? One buffalo and one war nickel. I'd almost say that that's good enough for this box, but I won't say that. I'd like to find more. I've yet to find the V-nickel. I see everybody else at one time or another has. I can't remember who it was. I saw him find 3 of them in one box. And that's just, I guess it's possible, you know, if somebody dumped a collection somewhere and it happened to be in bulk when they got to wherever they were picked up. One of the guys on one of the groups I'm in, he went to the bank and picked up a bunch of halves and got something like 170 of them out of, I don't know, out of $400 or something like that. That's insane. I know for a fact that the bank that I go to the bank here is Community Bank NA, and we have 6 branches, I think, within five or six within 3 little towns stuck together, and I go to the main branch for all of my bulk coin, and then I'll stop at the some of the other smaller local branches and pick up coin too, especially here in my little town. I go to that bank all the time, and my bank is great people. I always ask them, you know, I want to make sure that I'm not being a burden to them, because I read online with the group I'm in where a lot of people have had problems, even though they've got an account at their bank, they have problems with coming in too often or whatever. And the girls at my bank are they're fantastic. Took them in a dozen donuts this morning just as a thank you, and gave them all the Buffalo nickel same date, so there wouldn't be any arguing in the back room. But it's the branches I go to are they get all their coin from Loomis, and I've heard that some people are telling me that Wells Fargo is better, and some are saying that Wells Fargo they don't find anything. So I guess it's all in a matter of where you live. I do believe that, because even though I'm in Western New York, uh, I get as many Denver coins as I do Philadelphia, and I don't find any 2009. As a matter of fact, I got a tube here with 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. There's 10 2009s there that I have found since April. 10. I know the mintage is low, 36 million, is it? But 10, and yet uh, I think I found 3. Yeah, there's 3 complete rolls of 1939 Philadelphia's. Of course, the mintage is high. No, actually, the mintage isn't much higher. But the 2009s obviously were sucked right out of circulation the moment they came out. Today I found 1 roll. It wasn't this kind of roll. It was an unmarked roll. It didn't even say $2 in nickels on it. And I opened it, and it was a BU roll of 2016 Ps. And then most of the rolls, but I think 7 or 8 were hand rolled of the $40 worth I got at one bank today. And I got 3 of them. I got 3 rolls, well 4, counting the one I opened. But I got 3 rolls of 2016 Philadelphia's BU. I don't know what I'm going to do with them. I don't know. I'll put them on eBay, but the way shipping is nowadays, that would be a loss. I wouldn't want a fortune for them. They aren't. I don't want them. Of course, like I said, it's a investment for the kids and grandkids. 20 or 30, 40 years down the road, a roll of them might bring $10. Who knows? God only knows today what's going to happen. where our economy's going to be, where the world's going to be. But until something is crazy, we're going to continue to enjoy ourselves with what we do. This box is horrible, guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 nickels, Buffalo in a war. And then two 40s and 250s. And I think I'm getting pretty close to finishing up here. There's a 51 Denver. 51 Denver, it's not all that great, but it's old compared to what everything else is. You know, it's really funny that if you, I don't even know if I don't think I have it on this channel. I think I had it on a different channel, but the very first box that I bought from the bank, I brought it home. You know, I'm finding 41Ds and S's and everything else, and a couple of war nickels. It seems like I get about 2 war nickels per box. There's a real nice 68. Real nice 68, but doesn't have full steps, so it goes right back in the bank box. I'm gonna check and make sure, but if that video isn't on here in my channel, I'm gonna find it and put it in here. But I was amazed. I was going through, and you know, you guys that have been doing this for a long time, you can quickly look at a row of nickels that you lay out or whatever, and you can, the new ones are nasty looking. They look so cheap. Even uncirculated, they just look cheap. There's no depth to them. They look like two-dimensional. But when you come across an older coin that's in really good shape, you know that it's, even looking at the back, you don't need to look at the date. You know it's going to be fairly old by the toning, especially if it is in better shape. And I had one that I laid out like this, and I looked at the date. I knew before my eye even got to it that it was an older coin. I mean, a fairly older coin. I looked at it and saw 1950. And I said, well, that's definitely going to be a Philadelphia. You're not going to find a 50D. And sure as hell, it was a 50D. It's not here close by. I did post some pictures of it in the group I'm in. And I don't think that video's on here. But yeah, 50D, it's AU, at least it's better than extra fine. It doesn't have full steps, but I would say 2/3 maybe, just shy of 2/3 of the steps, 3/4 of the steps, whatever. Really nice shape 50D, and I've not come across anything like that since, except for I did get a 54 Philadelphia recently that is AU, and what the heck happened to you? A grinding machine by the looks of it. 54, a couple mid 40s in really nice shape. All the war nickels I find look like they're what they are, war nickels, all worn down. 39D, 38S I've found since I started. And back in the day, you'd find maybe 5 of those out of 20,000, 25,000 nickels. Not today. I'm either going to build this channel up or take it down. I planned on having, is that a war nickel? 1980. Looks silver almost. So the same shading as a worn war nickel. That looks like one of those grease errors. I'm going to throw it aside. Look at it better later. That's another thing. I don't remember the way they are today. Back in the 60s, I don't remember how grease errors were so prevalent. They're everywhere, it seems. Every time I look on eBay, there's grease errors, or in some of the groups. Well, I'm flying through this box, that's for sure. I'm not looking for errors of every year, but I am looking for 75 misplaced mint mark, the 2005, 2008, 2014, and what else am I looking at? 56D. I'd love to find a triple die 56D. If you've never seen one, look around and look at some of the photos you'll find on the internet, man. It's just a beautiful coin. Freaky. You know, a full double die 1955 penny is really something to look at too. I've seen two different, one in Arizona, one here in New York. It's really a nice coin. But like I said, nowadays there's a new error found on a coin every few weeks. The 19, geez, I don't remember. What year am I thinking? 19, shoot. I was looking at a bunch of errors today that are listed. And the 19 something or other, I'm sorry, it's not even 1900, it's 2000 something. It's got 169 different variations to the errors. And that's just nuts. New error supposedly for the 2016 is the second O. The last letter of Monticello is doubled, or not doubled, but it's all clogged up. And the F in 5 also has a little extra at the bottom of the 5. I just think that's kind of silly sometimes. I mean, unless it's really a major error, I don't myself look for something like that. Looking for the second O being filled. Some people are saying they're going from anywhere from $5 to $40 each. And I don't know. I know myself, I wouldn't charge somebody something like that for a coin. So therefore, I wouldn't consider having it, because I couldn't charge that kind of money for a little error like that. Oh, fall's coming pretty soon. And since I'm retired, I'll probably do a lot more than this than I'm doing now. And there's another one. Looks like that stamped in grease. Stamped in grease is what they say. Well, throw it back in the box. Feels like I got about 8 more rolls in here. Something like that. I do, and I had planned on having a giveaway with just about every video that I do, but the only way people are going to see the giveaway is if they watch the video after it's streamed live, because not many people are coming. I'm a published author, and I market my books, and I do rather well in my marketing. 57, all worn out. I don't want it. But I can't seem to get enough people coming to the streams. You know, I've got 3,600 friends on Facebook. Well, this is just getting horrible. 58 Denver. But you know, if my subscriptions pick up and my viewership picks up, I'll certainly have a giveaway every video that I do. I'm not going to ask for donations. I'm not going to say you got to do this or do that to earn a giveaway. I do it basically for the love of collecting, you know, the camaraderie of sharing each other's finds and stuff. Excuse me. Well, look at that. 2016, beautiful, brand new, full step, ugly, ugly mint. I don't like what they did to the coins. I understand the, you know, the change in metals and all, but they just look so pitiful. Looks like something made in a behind the garage shop somewhere. Is that a 38 or a 58? Another 58. They just look so chintzy. But I picked up some Canadian coins from the mint. Really nice looking coins too. I don't know what's going on with this. I think somebody just stuck it under their foot and drug it across a steel floor. That should be I'm going to say it's like a 54D. I can see the mint mark, but let's see if I'm right. 55D? Well, it's a 55. You can tell by the look of them when you go through so many. You know, there's supposedly a 64 is a double die. I've looked at CoinOp. He showed a picture of it in one of his videos, and I just don't see it. I'm not saying he's wrong. I'm just saying I don't see it myself. It's such a minor, obscure double die that I just don't. Otherwise, they'd be pulling all the 64s out to look at them, and I did for a while. I don't see it, so what, even if I did see it on a coin, I'm not going to recognize it. You show me a real double die, and I'll grab it in a hurry. Even though my eyes have failed a little bit over the years, when you look at this many a day, or when you've looked at this many over the years, you can spot a little bit of, if it's big enough to see, then it's big enough to keep. But these little ones, see this leg on the 2005, it looks almost detached at the body, but it's not detached. It looks just kind of shaded up there, and not good enough. I want to, if it's going to be detached, I want it, you know, big gap in there, maybe lay it on the ground. There's a big rusted, maybe a metal detecting find coming up here. Sure looks like it. What is that? 68D. Wow, that's nasty looking. Probably was a metal detecting find. It looks like it was in the ground for a while. Another 58. Jeez. One buffalo, one war nickel, and 8 other coins, huh? I sometimes think some of these have been gone through before I get to them, and they keep going back and forth from Loomis or something, because it seems I was averaging about 25 to 35 coins every box in the 40s and 50s. But 2 war nickels today. Another 68. Same thing. Looks like I was sitting in a pile of mud since the day it was minted. Okay. Three more rolls. Tomorrow I'm going to go to the bank and probably get maybe, I don't know, $300-$400 in quarters. Silver sparse around this part of the country, guys. I did pick up 5 rolls from one of the branches, all hand rolled, and was one 67 40%er and 2 NIFCs, but that was it. Geez, I've seen Stack Attack open. Look at that. Nope, I thought it was a war nickel. Sure, boy, it sure is colored like one. Yeah, it really is 1941 Philadelphia, but it's got the color of a war nickel. I've seen Stack Attack, yeah, open 3, 4, 5 boxes and only get a couple silvers, and then the next time he might open the same amount or less and get a lot better. I've certainly not got any Walking or Franklin's. I don't expect to either, unless I go through a whole lot of coins. People are smart, but I still can't get over the low mintage ones. I just can't get over them. Even the 2009 pennies, I'm pulling them out. Most of them are in a U shape or close to that or better, and I'm pulling them out and I'm throwing them in tubes. And I still haven't. I don't know. I don't even know how many pennies I've gone through since I started this again, but I don't even have a whole tube of them yet, which is 50. So dry, never see one, and then I'll get a box with 2 of them or 3. I did get a box with 4 one time. Again, it must have come from a different part of the country. I'm not sure where ours originate from. They are Loomis, but that's all I know. Often wanted to stop and talk to the armored guard guy. I'm afraid he'd think I was going to rob him or something and shoot me. They're pretty nonchalant around here. I see them walk into Walmart. I think that isn't Loomis or Wells Fargo. Who is that? Well, the name slips my mind. They get out of the truck and walk in. One guy, just walks in and doesn't even look around. Doesn't seem to be too concerned that he's carrying a ton of money in with him. The what's it called? The something Wood, Wildwood, not Wildwood, Woodhaven, Wood something or other bank in Walmart here. I might stop in there tomorrow and see if they can sell me some coin. I went to Key Bank today while I was out grabbing coins from my bank. I went to Key Bank. There's two of them. One in the town next to me, and then one just a little further, 10 miles away. I went in and I asked her for $50 in nickels. I mean, sorry, $100 in nickels. And they talked among themselves, and she said she could probably give me 50. So, and they had to go somewhere and get them. I guess the vault's not downstairs or whatever. I don't know. I've been in that bank all the way through, so 57. I stood there for, oh gosh, 15 minutes. Well, they waited. There was only one customer in another line, and I waited for about 15 minutes. And after all that time, she finally asked me, "You do have an account here, right?" And I said, "Well, no, I don't." And she said, "Well, I'm sorry, we can't sell you any nickels unless you have an account here." And I understand, they gotta cater to their own customers, and they're not a big bank because they've only got one branch here, and then one another 10 miles away in a small town. But it's just a shame that you can't pick them up wherever. Well, 2, 4, 6, 8, 12 nickels in the 40s and 50s. 1936 Philadelphia Buffalo, and a 1944 Philadelphia War nickel. That's it. Out of $50. And one more nickel, several out of the 40s and 50s, and 4 rolls of 16p uncirculated in a $40 pickup earlier today. So 90 bucks, 2 war nickels, and 1 Buffalo, and basically that's really all that's worth a whole lot to talk about. Hey, whoever watches this later on or whatever, thanks. Hope you'll subscribe. Give me some hints as to what to do to get more subscribers or more viewers, and I'll go with it. Talk to you all later. Good luck in your hunting.